Hey, what's going on there, Dice Rollers? Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a while. And welcome to the Monday Mayhem Weekend Recap, where I recap the games that I played over the weekend and some, on Thursday or Friday. And if you just are, scrolling by and you happen to see me going hello, I am a therapeutic game master as well as a professional DM, and I am all about trying to help folks like you bring epic games to the table. I want your games to be epic. Whatever you're doing, whatever style, whatever game you're playing, whatever system you're playing, I want your games to be epic because, your players, the people that you're running games for want it to be epic. They want it to be fantastic. And I know you do too, because you want your players to, feel like they're experiencing the same thing you experienced when you were a player, when you were first introduced to it. And so I, try to do the same thing because that's what I felt when I was 13 years old. When I first started playing, that's over, you can do the math here, over 40 years ago. But I still get a thrill from running games. And if you asked me which side, somebody asked me this past weekend, what side of the Dungeon Master screen I enjoy more. And I said, I play some, but I got to tell you, I love being on the other side. I like to be on the DM side because of watching the reactions of, people that are playing in my games. Because I put a lot of work into them, as I probably know that you do as well. And when you put that much work into it, you're saying, you know what? You hope that the outcome is going to be what you want it to be. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about recaps, games that I've been playing. I have, on Thursdays, I was asked by a social work friend of mine who asked me, hey, would you come in and do, start a middle school D&D club and run a campaign for 8 weeks? I said, sure. So it's middle school. I called the group Questers, and we've been playing Dragon of Stormwreck Isle, and it's gone very, very well. I can tell, though, that the middle school students are getting a little tired. They're like, the phones are coming out, and we don't ban the phones. Listen, I believe in trusting students. My goal is to make them look up from their phones. And I've been able to do that from time to time, and other times maybe not so much. But once again, these are middle school students. I don't discount the fact I know they're hearing me. I don't get mad at them. I don't get frustrated with them because that's just where they're at. I'm like, hey, we're gonna do this thing to build an idea, build a consensus, to kind of build a working prototype of what it is to run a program like this in a middle school, so that I can go to another middle school and say, hey, you know what? I don't do this for 8 weeks because we've determined, I think, that 8 weeks is too long, but 6 weeks might be just about right. 6 weeks might be the jam. So if I do like 5 weeks of the adventure, and then do what we call the Hero's Feast, where we order in pizza and we sit around and chat and talk about the game and all that kind of good stuff. What I liked about this past Thursday's game is the fact that, that these students, for all their distraction, are highly invested in the game. Because there was a point in the game where now they are tracking out. If you've not, I won't do a lot of spoilers, but they're hunting down a kidnapped kobold. And they have met some of the other evil kobolds who are part of this group of these dragons who are trying to raise the dead, of the other dead dragons of the island. And Sparkrender is the main villain. And at the end, one of the characters, Waffle Man, a former chef turned burglar, and that he is chosen. They asked, and I, as the kobold asked, hey, you could join us in our quest, and the Waffle Man says, oh yes, I will join you. And we kind of left it at that. And I knew that the students were invested because they were yelling at him, no, you can't do that. No, you can't join them. Why would you do that? We're here to rescue people. And so that was probably the funniest part of it in that sense. Everybody did good enough with their thing. But this week, we close it out. So we're gonna do our last part of the adventure, and I have a special gift for them. I went ahead and made certificates, and these certificates are I made these in Canva. They got some great fantasy heroes there. I put Stormwreck Isle, just I didn't put the whole title of the adventure because I thought it'd be too big. But I just put congratulations, hero. We'll put their name there, completing Quester's adventure campaign, and then sign it. And it's on cardstock, so maybe they'll frame it, maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, they each are going to get one of those, and so I am satisfied. I am satisfied with that. So my second adventure that I ran on Friday night for my friends here. Let me make sure I have. There we go. Pull the book out here. I have been running Esper Genesis, and Esper Genesis is a great system that they have developed. It's 5e. It's basically science fiction, 5e science fiction, and my friends are loving it. These are my guys that I played with when I was 13 years old, and they've enjoyed it. We've had this kind of escape from New York kind of thing going on. And they played the last part. This is probably where we're going to take a break for the holidays. But they, they're still invested as well. And we're old people, and we're like, that the fact that they're still in it, they still want to play, and they still want to do it. I think I think it's great. I think, when you play with your friends, you do something with them, whatever that is, you play with people whom you've known forever and ever. I think it's just a great, great thing. And I think having a hobby like this is something you can do. I mean, you can play golf, into your 70s or 80s or whatever. I think this is something you can do, as you get older, just like other hobbies. And I think it's just a great opportunity to get together with friends and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. And they're still invested. They come up with funny ideas. Most of the time, our stuff is all jokes. I mean, we're not that group. I don't care. It's pop culture quotes. It's, we're not super they're not super into immersion per se. I'm not either, at least with this group. And so we take it for what it is, and we have ourselves a lot of fun. So it's more like a beer and pretzels kind of a game, and we go about 2 hours. And so we go 2 hours, and we just have it's a great opportunity to connect. I mean, when you live far away, we play on Roll20. And so we play online, and you know what? We have a great time. We have a great time. The Roll20 is getting better. I'll say this, and I don't think it was bad before. I know a lot of people, prefer other VTTs, but I've always found Roll20 to be a really good VTT, and now I think it's just getting better. I think it is the way they're doing the rulers, the way they're doing now. They have folders for maps. I think they're taking great steps in the right direction, and they have to hurry up a little bit in that regard. I think, as all VTTs are, if 5e comes along with their VTT, so everybody's kind of like saying, hey, we're improving, and we're trying to get better. So we don't lose, people to other VTTs. And so I think they've done a very good job with that. And so, yeah, I would say that, like I said, we just wrapped up our this part of the adventure. I think we got about probably 2 more modules or 2 more adventures that are probably going to be 3 apiece. So we maybe got 6 to 8 weeks left of this campaign. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. They're leveling up well. I think they're up to 5th level. And so I'm excited to see where that goes. Last but not least, and by the way, if you're still watching at this point, first of all, thank you. If you would love to subscribe to the channel, I would love to have you here. I'd love you to have a part. You can ask your questions. I'll be happy to answer any Dungeon Master questions I can. Rules questions if I can. But anyway, I can help and serve you, then that's what I want to do. I want to help you run epic games at your table. And so if you want to subscribe and be part of this channel, would love for you to be a part. All right, so third and final game that I ran. I ran a game. I just got the new Villains, Minions, and Their Tactics. Really good book. I mean, the forward is by Matt Colville. New Warlock subclass by Ted Sikora, and I want to say Ted Sikora is Ted from Nerd Immersion. And then all the authors, fantastic. And I played and I have a walkthrough of this video coming out this week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And I ran an adventure in here, and it is called, let me look it up here. Oh, The Wound of the Forest. And this is a really fantastic adventure in here, The Wound of the Forest, and why I liked it so much. And this group that I was playing with, this was a paid group, since I am a professional DM. This was a learn to play weekend, and I invited people in. I had some people come back who were still fairly new. They came back and said, hey, we want to be at your table. And it was a dad and his son, 10 years old. And then there's another young man who was friends with him, also 10 years old, and a mom and a dad. And so it was a mom and a dad, three parents and 2 kids. I love that. I love intergenerational gaming because I think there's something to be learned. I think there's something to be learned by that. I think there's something to be gained from adults playing with students and students playing with adults, as long as everything is agreeable. And that's the kind of, you're signed up for that. I mean, this is a learn to play, so you don't really get to determine, you know, I know there's some people who said, well, I don't want any kids at my table. And there's some kids who's like, well, I don't want any adults at my table. That's fine. But having this particular group here, 3 of the 5 had never played before. And from what I could determine, one of the 10-year-old young man who had not played before named his character Doofus. It was a barbarian. And I just thought, that's so funny. That's totally what I would name my barbarian if I was, 10 years old. What's his name? Doofus. Doofus sounds like a good name for his character. And so we wound up playing, and it involved, and I won't spoil, no spoilers here. It involved a cursed forest, and how it became cursed is what they're trying to unravel. So it's part mystery, part exploration. I think we hit, it's a great adventure to hit the 3 pillars as far as combat, exploration, and role play. Everybody role played very well. The new people were trying that out and figuring that part out. And the reason the parents were there, the mom and the dad were there, is because they have all the stuff. They've never played. And they thought it was a bit overwhelming. So they came to the game, and I said, that's awesome. And we got to, talk and got to share a little bit how to play and build a character. And out of that, I was able to actually book a couple of other sessions. One was a birthday party. One's going to be for one young man and his friends. So I'm excited about doing that. And this particular adventure has a moral dilemma. And the thing I like about moral dilemmas is it causes, and I'm not one to, not every game has to be, a morality play, right? It's not there to be preachy or anything. But I think having that tension and having, what are people going to do in this situation is interesting. And it was interesting in this situation. Some were on one side, some were on the other, and they had to have some conversations. And eventually, I think the right thing got done. And in doing this, I just felt like in having that type of dynamic in the game, really, showed a lot of things. It showed how people played their characters. It showed how to negotiate. And it worked out really well. But I think the adventure, The Wound of the Forest, has a great, moral quandary to it that I think you'll find enjoyable. And overall, like I said, the whole book, there's 3 adventures in here, and I'm hoping to do the other 2. That's my goal, at least. And they're really good. It was really good for a one-shot. I think I had to pare it down a little bit. To not do as many side quests and things like that, which was fine because it was a learn to play. I usually go about 2.5 hours, 2.5 to 3, depending on the mood of the people. And we pared it down, and I thought it worked out really, really well. The 10-year-old young man who had played in our game before was really cool, really funny guy. And he says, we got to we got to a point, and he says, plot twist. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. Plot twist. Yes, it's a plot twist, man. And so anyway, it was a great opportunity. It has some great storytelling opportunities in there to really build tension and to see what people will do. But that is my recap of the weekend. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to go and click the thumbs up button that tells me you like the video and want more of them. And I will place all my information that if you are interested in booking a game with me professionally, would love to do it. I have a website down there you can go to find out more about the games and so forth that I run. And I run just about anything. I mean, I can run Pathfinder 2, I can run Pathfinder, run 5e, can run a lot of different systems. So I don't know what your jam is, but I'm sure we can find something that we can play together. And then, like I said, there's other links down there. I have a newsletter you can sign up for on Substack, putting out stuff there. And other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching and being a part today. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.